Country Director of Global Affairs Canada has promised to sustain its existing intervention programs in Enugu to complement the state government's investment in poverty alleviation initiative. The head of development cooperation with the High Commission of Canada met Governor Peter Omba in Enugu. Bamidele Ajayi has more.
According to the International Monetary Fund, IMF 2019 statistics, Nigeria has over 87 million people living in extreme poverty, which translates to approximately 52 million women on the clutches of poverty. Although there have been efforts by successive governments in Nigeria to leave many people out of poverty, but a large number of women continue to wallow in abject poverty. A challenge Governor Peter Omba-led administration promised to mitigate, even as Enugu is below 7% unemployment poverty head count. Representative of Global Affairs Canada is here to drum support with the state poverty eradication project.
The direct number of participants in this project was over 500,000 participants, including women and men. And in addition to that, in terms of indirect beneficiary, we're talking about over 1.2 million people in Enugu State that were able to benefit.
Representative of the Head of Action Aid of Nigeria enumerates successes recorded in the first phase of the program.
We've committed over 300 million within the state. That's one strand of our project, but we have two other projects that are currently running in the state. That's a strategic partnership agreement funded by the Danish government.
Basically, Governor Peter Omba re-emphasizes the commitment of his administration to scale up goals to eradicate poverty, concretize women and girl child empowerment program with zero tolerance for gender-based violence.
Just a few days ago, we were talking about how to empower at least 20,000 of our rural women by, again, scaling up their trade and enhancing their productivity.
The first phase of the Action Aid Nigeria project in Enugu State was estimated at 300 million naira, reaching over 2 million women in capacity strengthening, protecting them against gender-based violence, and enrolling 154 women into their various community traditional cabinets. To many, it has accelerated development at the rural communities. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News Enugu.
And after a prolonged family feud and stalled repatriation, a burial date for former President of the Senate, Joseph Wayas, will soon be announced. Family and kinsmen of the deceased politician told TVC News after they received his body in Abuja from the United Kingdom. Mr. Wayas, who was the President of the Senate between 1979 and 1983, died in a London hospital on November the 30th, 2021, at the age of 80 after a protracted illness. That's TVC News this hour. Thanks for watching. Coming up next is Sport Desk.
The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
President Bola Tinubu has announced the total removal of fuel subsidy.
The fresh subsidy is gone. What I will never take is threat.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News. First with breaking news.
Rolihlahla Mandela was born into the Madiba clan on 18th July 1918. He got involved in politics in 1942 as he helped to form ANC Youth League. He was married to Evelyn Mays and they had 4 children. Mandela was arrested in a countrywide police swoop on 5th December 1956, which led to the 1956 treason trial. Before the end of the treason trial, he wrote to Prime Minister for vote to include a national convention on a non-racial constitution, and failure to adhere would result to a national strike. In August, he was arrested and charged for leaving the country without a permit and inciting workers to strike. He was convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. On 9th of October 1963, he was on trial with 10 others for sabotage in what became known as the Revolver trial. On the 11th of June 1964, Mandela and 7 other accused were convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. He was later released from its gates on Sunday, 11th of February 1990, 9 days after the unbanning